How you doing, guys? It's lovely to be back in Belfast. This is my second time here this week. Both flights delayed, so cool, and the weather too. My name is Matthew Scott. I'm CEO and founder of Play Human. I'm a lot older than I look. I've been a writer, producer, filmmaker, digital marketer, tech asshole for a long, long time. I swear, didn't go down well at Allstate the other day during the AI debate, but that's fine. We're going to have an end to the day which is very, very creative, okay? We're going to open our minds a bit. We're going to start with the inner child. This is 4-year-old me. The more I look at this picture, the more I feel sorry for myself. Look at this shape of this hanging, right? Women laugh. That's interesting. Chesterfield, nice. What's this about? The little turtleneck, right? 70s, dude. So I want to sort of get you into the sort of inner child mode slightly because we're going to be creative, and creativity comes from that core, doesn't it? And we've spent all our lives losing that creative edge, running the lines, running the boxes, running the journeys set out for us. Hey, there we go. Fast forward to teenage years now when I wasn't wearing any turtleneck anymore. I wrote a play about Kurt Cobain. Who didn't? And it was 8.5 acts long, and later I'll tell you how to write half an act. You finish mid-sentence. And it was 47.5 minutes long, 8.5 acts, because how else was I going to get noticed? But the point is that I wrote this play, and it did very well, by the way. I actually got a signed letter by Jeremy Irons from the Cockpit Theatre literary panel, who said, we didn't quite feel sorry enough for the main protagonist. I looked up protagonist to see what that meant. But anyway, and I framed that at home. The point is that what I had created and what I had done with that play was I'd created a methodology that now means a lot to me and now means a lot to Play Human and the future of media entertainment. I'll explain. In the play, first of all, we were fucking up with the lines, right? It wasn't traditional shape, size, volume, whatever. But it was also interactive. Kurt asked the audience what to do. What should he do? What should this Courtney Love woman do? How are we going to get past this? And actually, the idea was that every performance would be different. So the methodology is quite simple, and it's around line to circle to spiral. Stand the fuck up, all of you, right now. So basically, you have your idea, and I don't care if you think you're a creator or not. All of you are creators, and if you're not, AI is going to eat you up. Anyway, but don't worry. So draw a line with your finger, all of you. If you don't, I'll pick on you. Right? Right. What's that? That's your book, your play, your film, your documentary, your album, your art. Now do this. Circle. What have you done in 5 seconds that it took me 15 years to work out? You've realized, you can stop doing that now. Stay standing. You've realized in 5 seconds that actually you haven't created a book, a film, a documentary, art, whatever, an album. You've actually created a set of ideas that are infinite, right? And can get, in a digital world, can keep getting spun, multi-channel, multi-format, spin, 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 spin. Now, after that, you've got your premium core, you've got your documentary, your film, your art, your book, your series, but it's constantly looping and looping and looping, right? Spinning and spinning and spinning. This is contra to how we were brought up. Then you have finally the feedback loop. Can you do this? It's like a 3D mode, right? That is the feedback loop with your audience. That is the future of media entertainment. You watch and you'll see that, okay? You can sit down now. So you started with something that starts, it has a middle, it has an end, it's 3 acts long, it's this length, otherwise it goes in the trash, da-da-da. And you end up with something that's actually a direct eye-to-eye with the audience. So not only are you creating infinitely, you're also engaging eye-to-eye with the audience. That is the future of media entertainment. So I'm going to do 3 acts, not 8.5. The first one is where we've come from. I'm glad to see the demographic in the room is my age. so they'll understand. Zombie Nation. We've all walked, all our favorites have walked the line. Never going to be televised. Controlled by old white men. Old white men, don't be offended, like they were in New York. Where you have your book, your movie, your series. Very little of that. Very little of that. No feedback loop. But you had heroes. You had mavericks. You had contextuality in history. You had stargazing. You had wonderment. You had rule breakers, ceiling breakers. Harrison Ford's nipple. You had empathy. You had genius. You had longevity. You had intertextuality. You had Metallica with orchestras. I was going to get Bill Hicks in for you, Marty. But you had rule breakers. You have agitators. You have storytellers and truth seekers. Okay? Can you? He's a whole universe to himself. Then you have a next generation who are, they're going towards the right direction. They're Web3, they're multi-channel, they're this, they're that, they're everything. They're spatial, they're space-based, they're human, they're part human, they're cyborg. You've got shapeshifters. And then you've got intertextuality and the retro pieces that we've got. We're all old enough in this room to remember the first time all this happened with the BMXs and the New Balance. And then you've got existential content as well. Linear is dead. It has been dead for about 8 years. Would you all agree? Linear formats are dead, right? We have to get past it. Creativity is not. That's no moon. Reference, Marty? Why is it not a moon? What is it? Right. It's a battle station. It's a battle station. Yeah. So we were promised with social media, this is a new space for creativity. It's a moon. It's not a fucking moon. It's a battle station where you're drawing the shit out of us all. Sorry for the language. Where we can have content everywhere. We can multi-channel. We can multi-format. We can build communities. As long as we give all data, all information, all ad revenues to the monsters that control these pieces. Oh, sorry, Marty, this thing keeps blipping on. Sorry about that. So you've got your content stuff. You've got your circular pieces. There is some circular stuff. There's not much of that, and there's definitely nothing of that in social media. Lots and lots of this. Lots of brain drain as well, right? Lots of social control. If you're a creator in social media, is there any creators in this room? Right. How much money are you making on YouTube? How much money are you making on YouTube? Thank you. So, point proven. The point is that in the creator economy, which is actually a creator casino, not an economy at all, you're tied by the algorithms. You're tied by the need for your content to drive ad revenues and for dopamine hits, dopamine problems for children is based on keeping you on screen, everywhere. We've created a generation of spoiled idiot brats who are, in this case, telling girls to suck lollies to keep thin. We've got gym bros, but we also did have communities, but we had to build communities against new problems, like cyberbullying. We have lots of live streaming. We have different formats, that's true. We can do Sin City style interactive, that's cool too. We can even put YouTubers and creators in movies, which is counterintuitive. And then there's TikTok, right? TikTok. So I have met with TikTok senior executives repeatedly. I've met with senior people at Google for YouTube. Nobody cares about creators. It's not about creators at all. They say that in the confines of a meeting room where they think no one in Belfast on BarCamp will hear this. They don't give a damn. So where do we go from here? Taylor Swift in 2021, because we were working with her, was making $0.26 per fan per year on social media. Can you believe it? $0.26 per fan per year on social media, the biggest digital creator on the planet. She can run a US tour and make $6 billion. A US tour, not a world tour. But yet on social media, Taylor effing Swift makes comparatively little. Still millions. And none of us should lose sleep over that. But the point is, there are 200 million creators in this creator economy of ours. And they're not going to make the same. So how do we change that? So Act 3 is playing human in media entertainment futures. So we've got all these boundaries, we've got all the linear pieces, we've got a little bit of multi-channel, a little bit of engagement, but it's all a bit of a ruse. Back to the child again. That awful alignment. Isn't that awful? It's really freaky. It should actually be, that should be the post from this talk, actually. Should be. Yes, but I didn't do that, David. My mother did that, and she's dead. Why did you bring that up? I can't believe you've opened. Fuck you. El Papa, right? We're 2 steps behind the curve. What if we blew up the ad models? What if we blew up the algorithms? What if we had people stopped walking the lines, stop being controlled by social media platforms, where you have these content formats, you have pure thinking around every time I have an idea, this is 1,000 pieces of content. This can spin and spin and spin. You have a pure feedback loop with the audience. You turn passive audiences, which is what it's 2024, and we're still having this media world of, I watch, I listen, I consume, you know? We're all creators, and I'm telling you now, if you're not or if you don't bestow the values of creative thinking, you're going to be stuffed in 5 years' time. No worries. Your audience does no longer want to simply watch, listen, and consume. If you don't believe it, TikTok. TikTok showed us that what people want to create. They want to take part in the story, right? They want to be active participants in their favorite stuff. They want to extend the stories out and become part of it. They want to get on stage with Taylor. They want to stream with Taylor. They want to cut with Taylor. They want to sing with Taylor. They want to produce with Taylor. They want to write with Taylor. And they want to produce the music video with Taylor. So it's kind of changing the validation paradigm of, you're my hero, I'm going to slide into your DMs. An agency in London is going to look after that DM and pretend I'm you. And I don't actually get any engagement with my creator. Well, what if you could actually directly connect with your hero, right? And I mean, what if there was a method by which I could actually talk to Taylor Swift just by hitting a button on my phone or any device? Hey, can you help me finish my verse? Hit your play buttons now. It might be you. What if that was you? What if that was my 15-year-old daughter? It's not your 15-year-old daughter, it's mine. What if that was my Emily? That's not making your week. That's changing your fucking life. Well, what if that happened every day, across all media, all the time? Then that's a lot of changed lives. You have journalists. This friend of mine was a broadcaster. She was an investigative reporter. And now she's a space princess, according to her. Because of new technologies, VR, AR, etc. And she's part of the play human world. What if we didn't have to make 59 bloody Deadpools? We can just make or engage with content outside of the framework of the line of those movies. And they can keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. What if adventurers and journalists became pathfinders for us to go on the travel up the Amazon as well? That's all possible. What if we have new sets of heroes? Right? The gaming industry is the biggest industry on the planet. What are you talking about? Right? Forget TikTok. What if we're actually making heroes out of game players? What about if you make a documentary, 1 hour 20? You pitch and you pitch and you pitch and you pitch and you finally get it on. But that's not a documentary. It's not that. It's that. Because what that's done is it's transformed lives, hundreds of thousands of lives. You turn a documentary, a story, into a movement, right? What if you turn drama on its head and you say, you take part? I hired a studio in Brixton before the launch of Brotherhood. Brotherhood was this number 2 behind Finding Dory in 2017. In UK box office, it cost 1.7 to make, and we had 111 million views of user-generated content for this movie because we put people in it. We said, this is your Brotherhood. What if you, and this actually came from this speech in New York a year ago. Somebody said, I have a book, I've written a book. It's called Live Your Eulogy. It's about what you do between the dates, blah, blah, blah. And we turned it into that. A multimedia, multi-channel brand that's basically a media brand, that's e-commerce, that's social, that's interactive, that's physical, that's event-based, from one idea. Because Beringer, the owner of the brand, turned her thinking to that. What if then you ripped out the lines, right? Why are we on these pieces of glass? Why are they all sort of like little TVs still? What's that about? What if you took away the lines and made it 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D? What happens then? It's worth thinking about. What if you completely bent that line so that it's irreversibly bent? So that basically creators, you, have control of every part of the process. You've done your line to circle. You've done your continual multi-channel, multi-format piece. You know you can make thousands of engaging pieces. You know you don't have to use social in the way you've used it before. You know that you have a feedback loop with your audience. It keeps giving. You're no longer behind the fence looking at the big studios or the big white man offices. You have the power because you've decentralized it. You're no longer walking the line. You're no longer being strung up by this social media nonsense. No longer controlled by these idiots. Always engaging with these guys. It's the jump off. Lil Kim reference, Marty. Yeah. I'm not singing it. Dave's going to do the rap after. So Lil Kim, the jump off. Look it up on Spotify. And so we've got this world. We've got no lines. It's all circular. It's all repeats. We can keep spinning and spinning and spinning the value of our creative thinking and ideas. But there's one, and we've taken away the ad models and the algorithms. But there's one really, really important thing left to take away. It's that, right? This sleepy triangle. Because what does that represent, David? Reel to reel, tape to tape in one direction. 75 years old construct. Has anyone thought of that? In all this technology and all the media platforms and all the streaming this and that and other TikTok and stuff, have you ever thought that the play button is actually the most powerful linear symbol in media entertainment or social media, whatever you call it now? In other words, you do not play, you're not entertained, you're consuming, you're not part of the story, you're just drones. I watch, I listen, and then what happens? What then? Well, you've been shown glimpses of where the world is going. You've shown people younger than 30 are switched on to content creation and participation and engagement. But we're still in the damn plumbing. We're still in Web 2. Okay? You take that away, Ryan. So, you have your line. We had a line. We were given access to Snoop Dogg's IP. Not a ton of it, in fact, very little. So what do you do when someone hands you a Snoop Dogg IP? You put it on fucking YouTube, don't you? No, you don't. You put it on TikTok, right? You go to an agency in Belfast or London or some other bedroom and you get some agency, $5,000 a month to put it in on the Facebook and all, right? No, you don't. You build a new fucking world, right? You learn the lessons, you follow the progression, you get rid of the play button. So you take this asset, then you start like these two, changing your mindset. What can we do? Let's say it's an hour long, right? What can we do with 60 minutes of content, same location, different parts to it? What can you do with that? Funny boy, right? You can do shed loads. You can build new worlds. You can have it at its core, and you can build the thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces. What else do you add? You add other people into it, and very quickly you turn, here's a Snoop opportunity, into here's a hip-hop opportunity. And then you advance that to Snoop, hip-hop, metaverse, user-generated, new talent. I'm going to run out of room here, and there's going to be an accident. Someone filming this for TikTok. See? What happens then? You can keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And we are launching an entire global business model, spin out of Play Human, called Verse 3, that's going to do this. We have modeled it all out. We know how much money we're forecasting. It's telephone numbers. We know what we're going to do with content. We know actually that Snoop isn't the point, right? Even though he's still in the premium core, we're adding Missy Elliott to the premium core, Busta Rhymes to the premium core, 21 Savage to the premium core. Ask your children. And you keep spinning and spinning and spinning, and suddenly you're creating thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of content, okay? In a two-way, circular, spiral formation. The feedback loop, that is the most important piece in Web 3 in terms of media entertainment. The feedback loop. This is not beaming down to people. This is an engagement. You see Snoop, Snoop asks you, you respond, and we go, and we go, and we go, right? Now you, now you, now you. Child, the longer I go on in my life, the more I try to get closer to him, because he didn't have all this bloody lines and circles and boxes to break out of. So if you're going to think creatively, think about it over the weekend, after a few beers, obviously. Think about how to get closer to that 4-year-old in you, because they had Web 3, Web 4, Web 5 figured out, right? And it's only through, we can talk about social conditioning and all that shit, but that's a different speech altogether. The point is, the longer you go on, the closer you need to get to that. And suddenly creativity becomes a lot easier. Ryan, I need your help now. So we have built a virtual streaming network. It's based on 20 years of experience of doing all the pieces. Hundreds of millions of views of everything everywhere for everybody all over the world in one, right? So think Netflix, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, Snapchat in one. And we changed the play button. Author here. Take a bow. It's a thumbprint. And we're changing, and we've got studies going on at Stockholm Business School, for example, and others around the world. Sorbonne, we're doing it before the end of the summer. We're all working on what the new play button does, right? It's not about the icon. It's the starting point. It's not about what it looks like. It's what it does. It's not tape to tape in one direction. What can it do for that child? What can that child think about next? How does it change content? How does it change how you engage?
I'm getting hype, bitch. bands, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. No rush, go on, move dumb. Pushing, so on, move dumb. Peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you gotta do a run up. Generations caught up, look how things will switch. People there quick, now they wanna move out the bits. Boy wanna grow to bitch, nah. Unless you heard it from me, then you ain't heard it from me. Got it from me, all that energy extra. They always see me with the hitters.
Joe, leaving them beanies alone. Me, with a squeeze, I get no feelings involved.
Joe,
Leaving them beanies alone. Me, with a squeeze.
I'm getting hype, bitch.
So basically, PlayHuman started life as a virtual streaming network, which I thought it was cool to have to have live stream, interactive challenge videos, episodic series, vertical, horizontal. So everything that all the other pieces have, shop, a massive community and so on. But then, and 10% of that was going to be the metaverse, going to be virtual spaces. And then what happened was, as we went into investment meetings and partnership meetings, we realized that the creator economy thinks to date that PlayHuman is another creator network. It's like another YouTube and stuff, right? And that's fine, and there's education to go on there. But what happened was A-List think they need to be in the metaverse. They have no idea why, but they need to be there. So what happened was we've got powerful middle people, in media entertainment, and they're all saying, "Oh, Snoop, what's a metaverse?" Or we're working with, we can't talk about it today, but we're working with the leading AI artist in the world on the next one. We're chatting with NBC Universal about their movies, the small company who were actually responsible for the Olympics. So A-List, Marty, A-List have come to us and said, "Oh yeah, we need the metaverse," and we're saying, "Well, we're going to give you a network as well, around the back, right?" And then that will bring the creators across. So we've been building this for 3 years, 4 years, 3 years, and as I say, it's a collection of the metaverse side of it's 50%, and the streaming video side of it. An interactive video is the other 50%. And the brass tacks of it is this. When I talk to talent managers and stuff in typically West Coast, they're like, "Oh, my YouTube guys, it's very hard to get them to shift." But actually, it's not hard to get them to shift. You have to understand what motivates them. And what you think creatively, new content, and I don't have to wear the blue because YouTube marks me down, which it does, if I change to red or green or whatever. And I'm not restricted. It's not about the freedom to start with. It's about making money. It's about how quickly they get the money. It's about not getting sliced out of the money. And it's about how they look in the marketplace on the back of that. Okay? So some of our partners that we're talking to are absolutely massive YouTube people, with 40 million subscribers and stuff. They're tastemakers. And those are the questions they're asking. It's not about formats and the things that I care about and love, storytelling and stuff. It's actually about, well, how do I move 40 million people onto your thing? And we say, well, you don't have to. We're the magic box. You can go right, frictionless. You can go off and on, PlayHuman all you like, right? And in terms of the lines, we're going after cinemas next, right? We're going to be in every smart device everywhere. We're going after bloody Sky. The third phase of our IP, of the play button, is sky casting. I don't, to answer your question you haven't asked, I don't fucking know. But we're going to work it out. Any other questions?
Must be more questions. Come on. Get them while you're got them. You're not getting them ever again.
Well, my question is...
Because I'm banned?
How do we get involved? All of us here have just seen this amazing presentation. What's next for us?
Well, what do you want to create?
I'm not a creator personally, but...
How do you get involved? Well, I suppose the key thing from a Belfast perspective is... shut up. It's like a naval...
Oh, sorry.
No, that's me.
Is that the car horn?
Yeah, it's all right.
Turn her off.
Shut up, you. By the way, I have a love-hate relationship with Siri. She fucking hates me, right? She goes, and all that stuff, and that's all she'll say to me. I say, Siri, what's the latest time, whatever. She's like, I don't know. So, sorry. Answer your question. Belfast is very, very important to me. I have spent over a decade away from here. Okay, I don't really recognize it anymore. I'm always back and forward. Obviously I have a daughter here, I have friends and so on, and colleagues here, and we're deliberately this time, because I promised my dad 7 years ago, that I would bring it back. Okay, so Belfast is getting Play Human, like it or not. We've got letters from Mr. Walsh at City Hall. We've got involvement with NI Screen. We're like that with Declan over at Studio Ulster. We've got partners in America right now who are from Derry and different parts in Northern Ireland, who are in with NI Screen and City Council and so we're actually combining partnerships all around the world and staff recruitment next year here, right? We're closing on 3 very, very big investment opportunities. Hopefully we're trying to get them into a bidding war. There's 3 10 millionaires that are all looking at us, and we want basically to have them fight over us. But the net result is that I want to employ 84 people next year in Belfast. Does that answer your question?
I'm not just saying this. See, when you said, what do you want to create, I thought a better city before you said that.
A better city?
Yeah.
Well,
so
basically,
we're
I mean,
like mine.
look, I can't find great technologists anywhere other than Belfast or Northern Ireland, right? That's one thing. The second thing is the creative pool. You've got world-class operators here in this room, in this quarter. Absolutely amazing. I still think we're shy as hell. We need to step up. Really do. We're so much better than this. The shyness, passive aggressive, and this shit. You go anywhere, and Marty's been there. You go anywhere in the world, and you listen to assholes like me, only they're from California, and you think, that guy's an asshole. But at least I'm your asshole. Do you know what I mean? And I can deliver on my breath, But that's the same. So any other questions?
So, Matty, like the overlap, that's the clip. At least I'm your asshole, right? Laura's going to ask a question.
Hiya. So Laura from Music Video Marketplace. So obviously my journey right now and what I'm doing in London and stuff. And obviously I'm on this Abbey Road Studios cohort accelerator program. And all the businesses that I've obviously been working with, they're all the same mission. How do we help musicians to make money? Obviously mine is the music video element. There's people there that are, trying to figure out streaming. They're trying to figure out merch. They're trying to figure out, it's a million different businesses. So in your opinion, if I go back in a couple of weeks and I speak to them, can I talk about what you're doing? And how should I be saying to people, here's an option for, how would I pitch that in simplest terms?
Okay. So first of all, we know the Abbey Road guys. We worked with them on the Universal Music stuff with Taylor a couple of years ago. So that's a great program. How you would pitch it is as simple as this. Social media doesn't work for those people, right? It doesn't work for any creator. That's the point. For top 1%, right? I used to pay KSI $6,000, right, to retweet things. Yeah, and at that time he was getting 10 million views of videos of him playing FIFA with Arsenal players in his pants, right? That guy's not a creator, he's a celebrity, right? There's a top echelon, you know this, Laura, top echelon of creators. We're going to be famous, whatever, absolute gutter snouts, honestly. So creators and artists, they're getting rinsed on social media, and you know that. So what do they do on Play Human? Oh, blowing bubbles. What do they do in Play Human? They take control of their monetization. They have more ways to earn. They get paid the next day. They get paid more than anywhere else. They get other ways to build those narratives, okay? Because using your brilliance, right? So you're a visual storyteller, and you have your own model in that. But also they can sell. So for example, I can set up on Play Human a live stream in 15 seconds. like a paid live stream. I've done it 3 or 4 times now. I did it with an investor the other day, and I wasn't trying to do it. That wasn't the point of me showing. He said, "Whoa, what did you just do there? You've just set up a commercial live stream in 15 seconds." So now we're about to we've just got on approved with a new technology where we're going to be we're going to have meetings in our own metaverse with investors. But that feeds into what I'm saying. There's more ways to make money, quicker money, more transparency, community growth. It's no one's cutting you out. And at the moment, they're getting cut to shit. Does that answer it?
No, totally agree. And that was like the whole census of everything we've been doing as a team, is like, how do we figure this out, And like there's companies I'm working with who figured out how to monetize music videos in various different ways, away from YouTube, away from social media, away from, through your own website, for example. And instead of this, it's the superfan era. It's all about how do we get the fans direct to the artist and get rid of the middleman. And that's the important part.
So, I don't know I don't think you were here for the brotherhood bit, but that brotherhood story is really important because we put the kids in the film, right? These kids were in gangs and they fought each other at cinemas to get inside to see themselves in the movie. So it's all about, again, it's not about the music video, you know that. It's not about the music video or my song or my album. It's about the universe of content and story and arc and theme coming out of that. I mean, if you think of Mr. Beast, for example, that's this sort of nemesis way of doing it, making hamburgers, Mr. Beast hamburgers, Mr. Beast or KSI and Logan Prick, fizzy drink to fucking poison your kids. Fucking brilliant idea, you wankers. Sorry. I've got swear Tourette's. But you know what I mean? I mean, what a bunch of assholes. But if it was actually, instead of fizzy drink, it was a book or a series, a live stream series or a new podcast thing, and then I played my album to you. Or, as I was saying earlier, you helped me write my last verse. Yeah, I'll give you credit. Yeah, why not? Do you see what I mean? I like this part. Want anyone?
Last
questions?
question, folks. Sorry. Well, it's between you and the bar, Matty, so you know how it goes.
I'm going to buy everyone a drink.
It is a bar camp.
Oh, or to quote Little Kim.
Yeah. Oh, and we don't have a roof party, so what we're actually going to do is talk to Simon Bailey from Belfast Tech Week, and then we're going to have Charlotte tell you about the appeal to buy the OEM Music Centre, which was going to happen on the roof, but the gods have scuppered us. Last question, Martin Gilchrist.
Hiya, Martin Gilchrist, practice manager, Gilchrist and Co-Chartered Accountants.
So I believe.
Marty came to me, I don't know, was it 4 weeks ago? In a dream. It felt. He came to me a number of weeks ago and he said, look, I'm doing this thing. And simply using LinkedIn, there's more to it, but very simply using LinkedIn, video, text, music, conversations, pictures, we brought 100 people down to the room and 20 people to do presentations, and we created, Marty and I created an event with a lot of other people. Yeah. Can Play Human do the equivalent of that, or is it completely different? Can individuals trying to create something small use Play Human, or is it for, and can you give me an example of how? Yeah, so look, you can have events on Play Human, right? Like I said, you can set up a live stream in 15 seconds. All the other peripheral stuff is up to you. It's for creators, right? That said, the Mormons want it, right? We're actually negotiating a white label for the LDS. True shit. They own Ancestry.com and FamilySearch.com, right? They have 160 million paying subscribers. Now their third one is going to be for younger people called Related, and so. Again, that's a different application of Play Human, which we didn't anticipate. So there's going to be others. Event management and running content and creator type events is totally within the wheelhouse of our remit and what we want to do. So absolutely, yes. I mean, there's community pieces, there's live stream, there's live chat, there's, CRM pieces. So. Thank you.